Swaying off the golf ball in the backswing, it's one of the big killers that you see the average recreational golfer display on the range. It's what causes the bottom of their golf swing to fall too far behind, issues with contact, issues with direction. If you feel like this is you, stay tuned. This video is really going to help. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Kerrod here on the range at the Joondalup Resort. Before we get stuck in, as always, please go down below, click subscribe, click that little bell so you get notified of all the content coming your way. Alrighty, in today's video, we are going to eliminate that swaying move off the golf ball. First of all, let's talk about what a sway is. If I set up to this golf ball here, just using this yellow line as a reference, for simplicity's sake, let's just say this is in the center of my stance. A sway would be when the center of my pelvis moves away from the center of that line. Simple as that. I set up to this golf ball, we would see the mass of my lower body sway away from the target. The mass of my upper body generally goes in the same direction. And then from there, it's incredibly challenging to get back to the ball. So if you feel like this is you, I have one of my all-time favorite drills to get you the feeling of how to make a centered turn with the hips, turn those hips in a circle, and really help you get a better ball ground contact, get that compression, get the distance that you might be missing out on. Now, often what we see is where we shift our pressure is where our body moves. So what that means is that how we use the ground might sound complicated, but it's not, definitely has a huge effect on the way that our body moves. So what do I mean by this? Well, if I was just to bring an awareness to what my right foot is doing, and if you slow-mo a lot of amateur golfers, at the top of their golf swing, you'll see their right foot roll out slightly. It might not be as evident as this, but it might just simply be a little shift like this. But if you see the pressure of their back foot go out like this, well, for that to happen, the center of their pelvis has drifted away from the target. You can see my back knee stayed flexed, which is definitely not good for creating any consistency. And then from there, it makes it incredibly difficult to get back to the golf ball. So as you can see, this here, this is a little reference marker for if you're swaying, not only the visual appearance of your pelvis going around, but it's also one of my favorite ways to then improve this, get those hips turning in the circle like you see the professional do, and get you moving forward and finishing tall, just like you see on TV. So what we're gonna do, I've got a golf ball down on the ground here, and I'm simply just gonna grab another golf ball. And we're gonna put this underneath the outstep of our back foot. Once again, simplicity's sakes, let's just put this stick in the center of our stance. Now, from here, the position of this golf ball is simply just going to be right about in the middle of my foot, like this, okay? Now, we're gonna leverage the foot up so it's on a bit of an angle. And effectively, what this is gonna do, it's just gonna give us an awareness to where our pressure is in our back foot. So if I set up here and I am someone who sways off the golf ball and I was someone who tended to get that foot rocking to the outside, well, I'm gonna feel a huge press down onto that golf ball. I'm gonna feel that my knee moves out into this position. You can also see that my body is swaying out and away from my intended target. So if I was to do what the professional does, put that golf ball underneath the outstep of the right foot, swing to the top. As I swing to the top, I'm feeling that all my pressure is on the instep, so the inside of my foot of my back foot here. So I'm feeling it's right on the instep of my heel. Now, when I do that, what naturally happens is my right leg is going to straighten, lose about 10 degrees of flex into a powerful position. My left leg will flex, and therefore I'm going to get myself feeling like I'm really able to then push down into the ground and explode to a tall finish. Now, of course, the first time you do this, it's going to feel awkward. But what we need to do is make some small practice swings, just starting off, just bringing some awareness to how to get those hips turning for me, right hip moving back, left hip moving forward. As we do so, you can see very little pressure on that golf ball as I get back into that position. I'm going to stand here, I'm going to make a little backswing, feel that I've got the inside of my pressure on that foot, and then follow through. I've got this reference line down on the ground. I'm just trying to brush the ground where the golf ball would be lying. So I'm going to set up again, set up to this, backswing, feel that the pressure's on the inside of the foot, not swaying too far off it. Then once again, get to here, follow through to that complete finish. Now, once I've done that a couple of times, you can roll the ball towards you, simply starting off small swings once again, set up into this position, really just doing nice and slow. Make sure we're never shifting off and outside to that ball. That felt beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So hips turned in a circle. I felt that my pressure never shifted to the outside. You can see I struck ball, then ground second, and that's what you see with the best players in the world on TV. So if you're struggling with your ball striking, you think that you're swaying off the golf ball, one of my favorite exercises to get the feeling of how to turn your hips in a circle, how to ensure that your pressure is shifting correctly without swaying and moving your mass off the golf ball. Simply get another golf ball, place it on the outside of your back foot, get the feeling that you're never putting too much pressure down on it, you're turning those hips, the pressure stays on the inside of the trail foot, swing through, make a couple of practice swings first, introduce the ball, and then clip it off the tee. Definitely an exercise I recommend to most players who do have any issues with contact, because there's a good chance that your mass of your body is too far behind the golf ball at some stage. Try it out if you feel like this is an area that you at home can improve. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions, please ask me below. But until next time, I'm Kerrod. Thanks for watching.